And here it is, and it's time for the unboxing. Okay, so here we are. As you can tell, we have the Eleegoo 3D printer, and this is specifically the Saturn 3 Ultra 12K. Now, this is going to be my first 3D printer of any kind. So I figured jump in, might as well go hard or go home. So let's begin with the unboxing. So here we are, fragile, and we're going to unbox this. Kind of like a kid in a candy store. Here we have the power cord. Ooh. A little printer manual. We have the all-important leveling card. Do not throw this away. And there it is. Isn't that nice? All boxed up. Nice foam padding. I think we'll have to tip this up and pull it out. Ta-da! I have to say, it seems smaller in person than when you see it on videos. For some reason, I was thinking from watching on the videos that this would be much bigger, but here it is. Now, more plastic. Ah, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Packaging on this is really nice. Yeah, some of us have larger knobs, but you know, this seems to be average. And here is our build plate. Look at that, all nice and shiny. And here we have our vat, and there that is. Now be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. It would really help us out, and it kind of gets you through this little fast forward period. So let's continue on. Next thing we end up having is the case. It has a ventilation system on the back. Then we have the power cord. That's kind of important. Then we have the toolkit, and that consists of some gloves, some Allen wrenches and screws, an air purifier, a scraper, Wi-Fi antenna, another scraper for your vat, a cheap USB drive, slicer program that comes with the printer, the other part of the power cord. We have some paint filters for the resin, some 3M masks, and that's what we have. Okay, so there you have it. That is the Saturn 3 Ultra 12K resin printer. My very first 3D printer of any kind. So now that we've done the unpacking with all the accessories, let's go ahead and put this together, and we'll turn the lights on and see if anybody's home. Everything's plugged in, and we have power in 3, 2, 1, ignition. And there we have it. We have lights. Something is home. Yes, that is a good sign. And it's in Korean. Interesting. Go to settings. Hanguge, so we'll change that to English. Go back, and boom, there we have it. Device self-test, screen exposure, tank clean, stop. Now, I did have a few problems, as you can see, with the power going out. That kind of bothered me because immediately I thought, crap, I've got a lemon. But then I remembered here in Korea, these are the switches. They have the switches for the lights and for the outlets. So after a certain amount of time, the outlets will automatically turn off. So that's why the system kept going on and off. So hopefully I've got this set now to where the outlets are constantly on. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Alrighty, so now since we have the power problem squared away, we should be able to get through this without it going off all the time. So here's the main screen. We have three options of print, tool, and system. So we'll go to system, and what we have is you can change your language/region. You can set your Wi-Fi, so you can send prints from your computer to your Eleegoo Saturn 3 Ultra, which is really nice if your slicer program has that option. We have some system settings and device info, IP, voice. I'm not sure what that does. It hadn't spoken to me yet, so we'll just leave that off because that might be a little weird. Format files, apparently you can load files onto this unit, input the error log, and then you can have a request for service, I guess. Back out of that, we have the upgrade version. The network upgrade version is unsupported at this time. So hopefully that'll come into play with the Wi-Fi. And then we have this here, the Lima November Whiskey upgrade, which drive is not inserted. What you can end up doing is updating the firmware of this from the Eleegoo website, and it'll give you instructions on how to do that. I checked and I have the most up-to-date version as of now. So yeah, that's what we have for settings and systems. Tool, you can come down, you can manually move the build plate in 0.1 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 10 or 50, up, down, and stop. And then you can also set it to go back to 0. As you go through that leveling process, you can hit the set 0, and that will be your home position. You can go through and you can do your tank clean. So let's say if you do a print and you have some stuff on your FEP, what you can end up doing is doing a tank clean, and that will shine the light onto the whole screen. And so that way you can get any remnants off and just pull that off. It's kind of a neat thing. And the next thing we have is screen exposure. So it's another test of the display in your screen to make sure that all of the lights are hitting where they're supposed to hit. And it has a text, it has a grid pattern, and then it has the full screen. We'll take a look at that. And then you have stop, and then device self-test. I haven't done the device self-test yet, so I'm going to read up on that because I don't know. Oh, okay. So it does the status of the LCD screen, status of the motor, status of LED light source, status of fan, and okay. So yeah, I thought stuff was going to move or do stuff, but okay, good. We're good on that. So that's what we have for tools. And then over here on print, we have a local file history, and then of course, this is grayed out for your USB. So yeah, you can store some local files on there. And that's the extent of the menu options that we have on the Saturn 3 Ultra 12K resin printer. Pretty simple. I think even I can do it. All right, there we go for the unboxing of the Saturn 3 Ultra by Eleegoo. A really nice unit, and I want to talk about some things, about some packaging and some other stuff, what I like and don't like from my first impressions right now. And I can't even do a test print because even though I have gloves and IPA and resin, I don't have my wash and cure station. That stuff is coming from China, and it won't get here until the middle of December. So we can just talk about it. That's all we can do right now. Maybe later on I'll do another video and we can talk about, I don't know, slicer programs and things like that. But right now, I'll give you my first impressions. So let's talk about a few things. In summary of doing this unboxing, and the first thing is packaging. Packaging is wonderful for this unit. Now initially I was a little apprehensive, to say the least, because I live here in Korea and things would have to be shipped from China to Korea to me, or from China to Japan to Korea to me. And I was worried about the unit. You know, what happens if it gets damaged during shipping? But I'm so happy to know that the packaging is top notch, and even though there was a few marks on the outside of the box, the damage didn't go anywhere near the unit itself. There's no cosmetic damage, there's no scratches, no nothing. So I am really pleased with the packaging that Eleegoo has done. So I gotta give you 2 thumbs up for that, Eleegoo. Now another thing I like is the aesthetic of the unit itself. It's futuristic, it's not crazy, it's not janky like you might have seen in the days of old. Like, yeah, let's put that in the garage or the basement. My wife even commented and said, that's really nice. You could put that in the living room, which, I mean, you could, but after she smelled the smell of resin, she would change her mind real quick. But aesthetically, it looks like a real nice piece of electronic equipment. So I appreciate that. Now, the other thing that I like about the Saturn III Ultra is the menu system, which is so simple. You have 3 options: print, tools, and setup. It doesn't get any easier than that. And it's not overloaded with this non-user friendly branching of going everywhere and trying to have some type of manual to figure out. This is really intuitive and it just makes sense. So again, I gotta give another thumbs up to Eleegoo and the folks that designed the menu system. Yeah, I don't know if you could improve that anymore. So again, thumbs up. Now there are a few things that bother me with this. So consider this. You have TVs, microwaves, radios, monitors, and in all of those things, where do the power cords plug into? The back of the unit. So where do we have the power cord here? On the side. Doesn't really seem to make sense. Now, there's another thing that's on the side of the unit, which is the Wi-Fi antenna. Where is that usually at? Oh yeah, it's always on the back. Eleegoo, why didn't you put those things on the back of the unit? Now, that leaves us with 2 more things. We have the USB connector and the power switch. So where in the world could we put those things on this unit? I don't know, maybe on the front. Put the power button over here and the USB right here. That would be more aesthetically pleasing. And yes, I've heard many other YouTubers say, oh, well, it would cost a little bit more money and blah, 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 blah. I would gladly pay more money to have the power button here and the USB connector here, and then the power plug and cord and Wi-Fi antenna on the back of the unit. I mean, wouldn't it make sense to have that stuff located in those positions? Now, I'm new to 3D printing. This is my first printer ever. So maybe I'm just making much ado about nothing, but really it's the only thing I can complain about. So do you think that this is a problem with these things being on the side? I don't know. Put it in the comment section down below. I'd like to hear what you, the experienced people, have to say. And then I'll just kind of ride on your coattails and be the yes man. So anyway, what experiences have you had with 3D printing? Are you new? What were your experiences like when you first got into it? With resin printing, what was your biggest problems? If you could go back in time, what would you do different? Put all those in the comment section down below. And until then, and the next video, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, peace. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to stay up to date with what's going on with us. The Buried Life, as we're retired in Korea. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.